that. Little stuffed up. But, it's that time of the year. Hey, Michael. Hi, Lucy. We start right off with some unicorn vibes. Much appreciated. Lucy's coming up today. She's going to pull some cards. I believe our friend. Odom is going to come up, and we're going to talk recovery from not just addiction, recovery from a broken heart. Happens to us all. I don't think we escape life. How do you escape that which you are? We tend to view life as something that we do instead of something that we are. It's just life happening spontaneously, although it appears to be secular. Hi, Kat. Lee says, "Morning, Yogi. How are you?" I'm good, my friend. How are you, Lee? Like is done. I haven't even hit like yet. I'm not above hitting my own like button. I'm not above liking myself. Self-like is underrated. Sometimes I notice. We often talk about self-love, right? Hey, Lee, my friend, how are you? But what about self-like? I think sometimes we coast through life with self-tolerance. Sometimes a little bit of self-pity. Sometimes with, and some really, I don't know the word I'm looking for. Some, you don't want to say extreme cases, maybe extreme, but I don't think it's that extreme. Self-loathing. I think it's an extreme condition, but I don't think it's extreme in the fact that I think all of us may have been there at one time or another, right? William says, I have no tolerance for myself, which is why I stay distracted. But, William, maybe consider that's also why you're not healing, because of the distractions. To gain tolerance for yourself, how do you gain tolerance for anything? How do you come to like anything? A lot of people have come here on my live streams, and they do not like me. Hard to believe. I'm a likable guy, I smile. I'm good natured. I have kind things to say about people. But nonetheless, occasionally, someone doesn't like me. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, indeed. And yet, sometimes, not always, after hanging out with me for a bit, they might come to like me. Or at the very least, they might come to tolerate me. I'll accept that. We all need a little bit of tolerance. Lucy says, they just don't have good taste. We love you, Yogi. Thank you, Lucy. Can always count on you. Anna says, good morning, Yogi. Speaking of Lucy, by the way, the truth came out yesterday. On Lucy's heartfelt, courageous, and honest live stream, the truth came out. The one thing we've always wondered about Lucy, she likes Cat more than me. Secrets were revealed yesterday. Cat says, yay, Lucy. Hey, Wasteman. I'm locked in the bathroom. The ghost of Charlie Kirk is outside the door. Huh? Well, why the need to lock the bathroom? You afraid someone might walk in? Cat's laughing. So, Lucy says, it was so hard. I was about to break down in tears, but I managed not to. You were very, very honest, which I appreciate. Yeah, get your point, Wasteman. Lucy says, right, I love Cat more. Cat says, Yogi, Maddie sends his love. Dad duty's keeping him busy. Gotcha. Understood. Hey, Chicago West. Chicago West says, good morning to you, my friend. Yep, I got you. I can read Cat. Lisa says, Chicago, nice to see you. Imagine that, going through life with a certain amount of self-loathing, or a large amount, or not having any tolerance for yourself. Um, None of that is natural. All of it can be fixed. When we think about perception, hey Daniel, when we think about perception, we leave ourselves out of it. We think, I perceive this, the outer stuff, right? But do you ever take time to consider that the thoughts about ourselves, how we view ourselves, the things that we believe about ourselves, is a perception as well? It's part of the perceptuary world, and it's wrong. Every single thought you have about yourself is wrong. Every single thought you have about someone else is wrong. Every one. Every single one. Every thought that you have about the world is wrong. All of it. Every last one. Sounds like a big statement, right? But it's true. Unless it's wrong. Hey, Sissy. Hey, Miss Becca. There she is. Hey, Becca Bill. Becca Bill says, morning all, a sad day. I'm sorry you're having a sad day. Is that Xenophore? Holy mod. Yep, there's a lot of mod. We're trying to help people connect if they want to grow their channels. Lisa says, I don't know what I did, Anna, but okay. Love you, Anna. I think she's just thanking you for being you. Let's see. Zennifer says, Zenfer? No idea what you're talking about. Let me read what I wrote. And then we'll talk a bit about it. You are wrong. Me too, of course. All of us are. We have mistaken our interpretation of each other, the world, and all of its events as the truth. And we are wrong. Our mistake is that we've confused perception for knowledge, falsely believing that what's perceived has an inherent truth and is somehow independent of our own belief system. In other words, we are conveniently ignoring our projections, blaming each other for the divisiveness of the world, when in truth, it's all our own creation. Here's the way out. We are all responsible for it. We are all responsible for our perceptions, every bit of it, and it's our responsibility to change things. It's an inner job we're faced with, an exploration of consciousness that takes us through a tour of the mind. It's not always pleasant, but it's the only real journey worth taking. And all along the way, we're only really doing one thing, continuously and sincerely forgiving our perceptions, all of them, until we heal the world. Every little thing that you see is your perception. Not only that, it's your interpretation of someone else, it's your interpretation of an event, it's your interpretation of a situation, it's your interpretation about everything. Your interpretation is wrong. Not because it's wrong to have an interpretation, not because it's wrong to think or believe what you're thinking. It's wrong because you can only see your interpretation, and interpretation is never the truth. It can't be the truth because it's only yours, and you don't see the whole picture. You can only see through the lens. In yoga, it's called the kleshas. People says, what's this channel about? Nothing, not like any one thing. It's about whatever it happens to be about each day. He says, I made wrong perceptions here, and for that I'm sorry. No need to be sorry, because that's how we navigate the world, through our perceptions. But we don't realize that a perception is just an interpretation of everything. And interpretation isn't really right or wrong in reality. It's just not reality. It's the story that we've told about something. When we realize that, everything changes. Um, let's see. Anna says, I am being me more and more every single day. I absolutely love that, Anna. Becca Booth says, hi, Sissy. You're welcome, Evil. Those are words I never actually said before. You're welcome, Evil. But you are welcome, Evil. Cat says, General, you okay? Didn't see General's message. And it says, thank you, William. Good to see you again. He says, General, my favorite film and character. What was the favorite film? Hey, King Bill Clark, how are you, my friend? Thanks for coming back. He says, Del Griffith. So, in yoga, it's called the kleshas. Kleshas are translated as the afflictions of the mind. They're also a general important principle in Buddhism as well. We see the world, we can only see the world through the lens of our kleshas, the afflictions of the mind, being which is our attachments, things that we love. We see the world through our attachments to things, through our attraction to things, through our likes of things, our fascination of things, our love of things. Not wrong. It's just how we see the world, right? However, we also see the world through. Can I spell? What do you want me to spell out for you? Klesha? I don't know. Kliesha, I believe. It's close enough that if you Google it, it will come right up. We also view the world through our aversions, things that we don't like. Man, all of it. We view the world through the things that we are attached to and attracted to, and the things that we are averse to. Hey, Nino. Becca says, I like your lime green top, Yogi. Well, thank you. This is from Baltimore City Marathon, 2000 something or another. We also view the lens of the belief that we are separate, that we are an ego, separate from other egos, navigating a world that's separate, made up of individual egos. We view the world through our fear of death. Most of all, most importantly, maybe, we view the world through the klesha, the lens of ignorance, that we don't know who we truly are, that we don't know who each other are, that we don't know what the world is. So no wonder it's a mess. Bill says, oh, 9/11. Yeah, today is 9/11. I do remember exactly what I was doing. I was on the way to the gym when I saw the news on CNN. I was walking out the door. That whole, man, the whole decade, a lot of fear, a lot of anger. Going the banks, John Candy, transparency. What do you mean, sissy? I love John Candy, by the way. There's a documentary coming out about John Candy. He was a really good man, too. Hilarious. One of the best gifts from Canada ever. Evil says, I try my best to keep an open mind. Not just now I understand or see things, but strive to openly achieve semblance of other perspectives, whether I agree with them or not. That's nice, Evil. Here's the thing I would maybe keep in mind, that when we realize it's all perspective, every little bit of it, that we have our perspective of other people's perspective. It's an endless loop of perceptuatory living. We go through the world perceiving, 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 never realizing where does a perception come from? It comes from our thoughts, whatever thought that we have. And our thought is an interpretation of an event. A thought is an interpretation of reality. Of Course in Miracles, it says a thought or a word is a symbol of a symbol. So it's twice removed from reality itself. This is why they say the Tao that can be told is not true Tao. The world that can be seen is a perception of the world caused by the thoughts and belief systems that we have in place that we haven't even formed ourselves. 90 some percent of every single thought that we have, hey Todd, about anything, we've inherited from someone else. Our parents have taught us. Clergy, churches, media, books that we've read, teachers, siblings, friends. We've inherited most of it. We've never examined it. Why do I believe this? Is it even true? Sissy, someday you and I need to talk about the work. Katie Bryan's work, the 4 questions. Hey, Carl. Carl, how are you, my friend? I see that you are 60 plus still on your subscribers. That's awesome. See you, William. Let's see. Dill says, thanks for answering, Eric. I bet it was quite a shock. Did it ruin your workout? It didn't ruin my workout. Nothing ever ruins my workouts. But I remember in the parking lot on my way into the YMCA, being stopped by an older member that I talked to, friendly conversations. He was a World War II vet. He had tears in his eyes. That shocked me more than anything. Guy, he must have been in his late 70s, might have been in his early 80s at the time. Probably mid to late 70s, I guess. And he served all through World War II. He was about as tough as it comes, still working out hard at the gym, still very fit, still pretty muscular. Just a tough old guy. And the tears in his eyes in the parking lot, shaking his head, wondering, all these years after World War II, what have we come to? Of course, it wasn't soon after. It was less than a year after I met Milka, who was in the Air Force. So dating and then marrying someone who was active duty. And my best friend was immediately caught up. Best friend was in the Air Guards. Part-time, Air Guards. You're supposed to be doing it part-time. He ended up for the next 20 years, pretty much. Retired almost 20 years. So he retired maybe 5 years ago or so. Sissy says, I may have misinterpreted a statement and removed it as well as the person who dropped it due to the context of it and lack transparency. That was merely a quote. That it was merely a quote. Well, don't sweat it. That's what Kat said. It happens. Let's see. Dill says, Eric, recently David Goggins completed. I saw that. Ultramarathon. He didn't win, but he didn't. He did well after 5 years. But I noticed his knees look destroyed. Do you believe he has done? Yep, he has done major damage to his body. He's been in and out of hospital for other things. I believe he's had kidney failure before. We can recover from that stuff, a lot of it, but that doesn't mean that damage hasn't been done. Hey, Fred, how are you? Have you how have I been? Always good to see you. It's good to see you too, Fred. Thank you so much. I'm doing well. Kat says hi, Fred. Artula says greetings from Europe. Greetings, my friend. We have a few people from Europe. Carl is from Europe. In Europe, from Europe. Anna is in Europe. Our friend Kingdale Clark as well. Our friend Lee Liu. Becca Bill. Carl says, good morning, Anna. You'll see me live stream soon. Looking forward to it, Carl. At some point, Bill, I think it's, what does David Goggins have to prove anymore, even to himself? At some point, I think it's important for us to start being kind to ourselves. Doesn't mean that you can't do something as a challenge, but it means we no longer have to punish ourselves. Let me read something from the Course of Miracles. Not about punishing ourselves, but there we go. God's teachers. You, all of us are God's teachers. What are we teaching? Hey, Jack. Morning, my friend. Our major lesson is to learn how to react to thoughts wholly without anger. Only in this way can they proclaim the truth about themselves. Through them, the Holy Spirit, get rid of the word Holy Spirit, the term, if you don't like it, you can use universal inspiration. Whatever works for you. You can say the Tao, Krishna consciousness. I don't mind Holy Spirit, though. Through them, the universal inspiration can now speak of the reality of the Son of God. That's you, and that's me. Now he can remind the world of sinlessness, the one unchanged, unchangeable condition of all that God created. Now he can speak the word of God to listening ears and bring Christ's visions to the eyes that see. Now is he free to teach all minds the truth of what they are. So they will gladly be returned to him. And now is guilt forgiven, overlooked completely in his sight and in God's words. Everything is based upon the guilt that we believe that we are separate from God. Being separate from God, we are separate from each other. Being separate from each other, we need to claim what's ours, and we can't allow anyone else to come close enough to touch our stuff. You guys know how I feel about my stuff. Don't touch my stuff, guys. So we have this little bitter, angry world. Everyone protecting their own little fiefdom. It's a word you don't hear often. Try to fit that in a natural conversation today. Fiefdom. There's the challenge. Let me know. Let me know in the next live stream. Does anyone manage to use the word fiefdom in a regular conversation? Can you be in Walmart today buying something and say, so, how's your little fiefdom doing today? Any plans at the fiefdom this weekend? You gonna do a cookout maybe? Let me know. Hey, Dolly. So anger but screeches, guilt is real. Reality is blotted out as this insane belief is taken as a replacement for God's words. The body's eyes now see, its ears alone can hear, its little space and tiny breath becomes the measure of reality. Its little space, the brain, the thoughts, the mistaken belief of reality. The little space and tiny breath become the measure of reality. And truth becomes diminutive and meaningless. Correction has one answer to all of this and to the world that rests on this. You, but mistake interpretation for the truth. Your interpretation of the world is not the truth. It's just your interpretation. And you are wrong. But a mistake is not a sin, nor has reality been taken from its throne by your mistakes. God reigns forever, and his laws alone prevail upon you and upon the world. His love remains the only true thing there is. Fear is illusion, for you are like him. You are like God. You are an idea in the mind of God. How intimate, how fascinating, how wonderful. The fact that you are an idea in the mind of God means you are not separate from God itself. God being reality, God being synonymous with love, that is who and what you are. There aren't separate things in love, there's just love. There aren't separate events in love. Love is the event of all events. Love is eventing, motion, expanding, embracing, unconditionally. If there is fear present, within the mind of love. It's caused by our misinterpretation of any event whatsoever. We have placed a small little breath into the one great breath of reality itself. We've clenched in fear. Our only role, the one only thing that we have to do, our only spiritual practice that we need to have as an endeavor throughout the day, forgiving our misperceptions. If you perceive it, it is cause. If you perceive it, it's yours. It's in your mind. It's in the thoughts. We just forgive it. It doesn't mean we don't protect ourselves. Doesn't mean that we don't navigate the world as if this thing doesn't need to be taken care of. We do. But in our hearts, in our mind of minds, the mind that exists beyond all thought, we forgive. Forgiving is just saying, oh, that's my interpretation of the event. Imagine that. Instead of getting angry at every little thing, instead of being fearful over all the stuff that happens in life, we just realize, oh, it's my interpretation. It could be wrong. I probably am wrong because it's an interpretation. All right, let me dive back in, but then we'll get ready to say goodbye. Thursday, I'll take a little bit of a longer walk. All right. Dill says, thanks for answering, Eric. Hopefully David still enjoys it as much as it may seem, that he's willing to sacrifice himself, which he has done. I agree. I get the sense David does punish himself. Yeah, and at a certain point, though, you push yourself saying, well, I enjoy it, but you're also diminishing the amount of time you have to enjoy it. At 60, I would like to still be enjoying the stuff that I enjoy now at 70 and at 80. Who knows? Maybe even 90. Who knows? Maybe even 120. Which means hey, Patrick. Patrick says, waka waka, hello, hello, from Alaska. Hey, I spent a week in Alaska once. Maybe it's his only outlet. I believe he's in a relationship, though. But hopefully he can sort of ease up a bit. I agree. The creator is coming. I would say the creator is here, and you are a him, or he, or she. She cooks some roast. Hello, my friend. Subby says, good morning to Anna. Hey, Subby. I'm sorry I didn't see you right when you came in. She cooks some roast. Same with you, Subby. Randall. Hey, Randall. Welcome back, my friend. What's going on, brother man? We're just talking. Carl says, make sure you get 3 meals a week, at least. Lee says, Anna, are you working out today? Every day. Every day. Anna does not miss a workout. Sissy says, I got the love to all. You too. Hey, do you have a link to drop, Sissy? Anna did 500 squats and standing abs this morning. Thank you for asking me. Interesting, the standing abs. Sometimes I do some abs with my bands, hook them up on my pull-up bar, and just do standing crunches with a little resistance. Great way also to stretch out the back. You get that full extension of the abs and the full contraction of the abs. You guys want to know my secret to good abs? Keep my shirt on. so no one sees that my once stellar abs have been reduced to like abbish. I stand just right, and the sunlight comes through the window at just the right angle. And I'm in that perfect, like maybe stretching a little bit. Abs are spot on. If you guys could just be there for that one moment, then I would shoo you all out of the room, go about our days. Can anyone do a dragon flag? I cannot do a dragon flag. You used to be able to do a flag years and years and years and years ago. How about you, Jamie? Lisa says she cooks, knows my favorite romantic gift, and the key to my heart. Black roses. Oh wow. I don't know if I've ever actually seen a black rose. Sissy says I do. Sometimes I feel like I'm pushing it on others too much. Hey, for one, as my Greek teacher Cat and Jack would say, there are no others. For two, that's what we're here for, Sissy. For three, that's why I sort of figured, which is why I always ask you, I don't want to miss it. For me, it's a great convenience. It saves me from having to search for you. Sissy, don't give me extra work to do. Do that for me. I'm asking you as a personal favor. You know, I don't want to pull out the age card, but if you don't post a link, that means I got to pull out my keyboards. I got to start typing. Soul Stars Production. That's a lot of letters, man. My fingers will cramp up. I'm not an ultra runner anymore. It's been a while since I've trained for that. I would get to SOL. I'd start getting that little dash. That dash probably has a name, right? And man, right now I'm just pretending my fingers cramped up. I'm gonna have to massage them out. Can't go on, sissy. Imagine how much easier if I just had a link and I could click one thing, one button. Sissy, am I asking for too much? Do you not love me enough to save me the anguish of actually typing things out? You know, I'm a writer, sort of. I only have so many letters in these fingers. Boy, that was quick. Charlie Kirk's ghost. It's quick that someone would decide to do that. You know, I am. I barely know who Charlie Kirk is. Sort of the name registers something political. I know we had a young friend who came in who liked him a lot and asked me my thoughts, and I said, I don't have a thought. Don't know who he is. Uh, I don't care about someone's political views. They don't need to be forced on me. However, whatever the views were, and whatever someone else's opposing view or views for, man, give a little bit of time to let someone rest in peace, truly rest in peace. Um, let people heal. I know he was important to some people. Don't know why. I don't care why. Don't care. But man, those who loved him, I'm sure he had a family, right? Let it rest, truly let it rest in peace. This is why we have such a difficult time healing, because someone wants to put that little thin veil of division between things and keep that flame fanning. Instead of just saying, you know what, I'd rather be an instrument of healing. Remember St. Francis's great prayer, Lord, make me an instrument. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. For there is hatred, let me sow love. How about being an instrument of peace? It's your only real job. If you're not doing it now, you will eventually do it. Maybe not this lifetime. But hey, why not now? Hey, Muddy. uh, talk about Aftermath and watching you. Evelyn says, from my perspective, this channel has a peaceful and respectful tone. Thank you for this. I've enjoyed listening to your perspective and beliefs as well. Good luck on your day and exercise well. Thank you, my friend. I much appreciate that. And I hope you come back and hang out with us. FBI says his family was present. So again, I know nothing about his family, his beliefs. But I don't want to say nothing. Through the past day, and probably a little bit more, I guess things have soaked in. Um, like I said, my friend wanted my opinion. I didn't have one at the time. He tried to fill me in. I'm just not interested though. But as FBI said, his family was present. That's enough for my heart to go out to him. That's enough. The fact that his family will suffer now because of that, It's enough for me to know that I don't wish that upon anyone. And the way we're going to heal is not people coming in and saying, um, I don't know. I think we know how to heal. I think we know how to heal. Hey, Blue Moon, I got both shoes on, ready to go. Matter of fact, in about 2 minutes, I'll head out the door. Tepper says, thanks, Evil One. Yep. Anna says, good morning, Evil One. Jack says, got to run, everyone. Have a wonderful day. You too, Jack. Jack, thanks for coming in. Tiger King, I hope you're having a good day so far. Phoenix says, I knew him from different perspectives, Sir Yogi, but mostly I see him as human. Dolly, you are a beautiful, beautiful person. Such a loving heart. Dolly, I hope you can come up and chat with me sometime. You and I maybe devote an hour just to your healing journey. Phoenix says, love is the only way. You're absolutely right. Bill says, I like your mindset, Eric. You don't jump on the bandwagon of this political figure. If he died, you wish him to rest as well as any other human being. Absolutely, Dill. Absolutely. Dill, I missed your commentary. I hope you consider coming back and hanging out with us again. Thanks for being there for my workout, by the way. Sissy says, Tiger King, perhaps it was a tie. No, my ego is going to insert itself just a little bit. I won. I put my shoes on. If Sissy's not here, I'm sorry, if Ellie is not here to beat me, then in my mind, I won. Even if it just exists in my mind. She cooks, she roasts, gives us some love. Thank you, my friend. I always feel like such an honor when you come in and hang out with us. So try to get 50 to go live. Don't make it easy on yourself, my friend. I wish you would. Stephen says, greetings to King Bill Clark. Been a while. Bill says, good, hey, Squirrel. Good to see you. Blue Moon says, love that joke. Anna says, doing well. Tiger King, how about you? All right. So Tuesday, I was going to do a members live stream, but I had a friend who wanted to talk. I'm thinking, no promises, but I might do a live stream, just breath work, members only. Talk about stuff. 1 o'clock. Lucy's pulling cards. Bring your questions, yes or no questions, or you can get a general reading. Lucy will pull the cards, give you a tarot reading. Lucy says, see you, Yogi Eric. See you all later for tarot. At 5:25, Prentice Odom. Odom's not his first name. You guys probably didn't know that. He will be coming up, and we're going to talk about recovery from addiction, recovery from getting our hearts broken, and using gardening as a tool for healing as well. We're going to answer. He's going to answer. I'm going to read the question. He's going to answer. Figs. You got questions about figs? Anything about figs? Let us know. I'll be there. Figs are a really fascinating plant. I have a book on figs. I'm going to pull it out. It's on one of these two shelves. And maybe see if I can stump the fig master. I don't think it can be done. I don't care about stumping fig master. I just like knowing about figs. Truth be told, and I have to ask Odom his opinion of this. I'd rather figs are for cakes. What about pudding? Isn't fig pudding like a big thing? Isn't fig pudding a thing in United Kingdom, like a bigger thing? According to my dad, figs were for Newtons. I don't know why Newton needed all the figs. That's the way it works. Step says that want to cause grief. Someone's passing is deeply under the spell of dualistic paradox. Agreed, Sniper. Um, yeah, there you go. Figgy pudding for Christmas. Um, Sissy says, I love figs. And that's what I was going to say. I was going to bring up dates. Truth be told, I'd rather have dates than figs. But figs fascinate me more than dates. But I like eating dates better. I've actually done 50K races, even a 50 miler, eating almost nothing but figs. Dates. Apologize. Perfect food. They digest easy. They are high in nutritionally dense sugar. Sugar found in fruit and berries is a little different than the sugar that you get from eating a bowl of sugary cereal because it is attached naturally to fiber. So it doesn't cause that spike in your sugar levels. It goes through the body slowly, being used as a source of energy. So, Tiger King, my friend, remember the three gates. Is something true? Do you absolutely know that it's true? Is it necessary to say it? And is it, if we are not passing any of those three gates, it's not worth it. Medjool dates with peanut butter and crushed pistachio and cayenne pepper. I would not have thought of the cayenne pepper. Interesting. Three gates of speech. Yes. We can really just any one of those three. Is it kind? Imagine that. Is what I'm about to say kind? Is what I'm about to say essential? Does it need to be said? Also, is it true? Not just my opinion. Just because I have an opinion doesn't mean it's true. It means I have an opinion about something. By the way, let me jump back on yesterday's live stream with Lucy, where the lovely, courageous Lucy came up to share her story. This was not a ask a transgender person a question day. It was not, hey guys, let me share my opinion about those who are transgendered. It was not an opportunity to announce your belief system. This actually, the fact that Lucy is transgendered is almost incidental. She was sharing her painful journey of being who she is. You can have your thoughts and your stories and your perceptions of who you think she is, but that wasn't the point. The point was someone putting themselves in a very vulnerable position to be courageous, to share her hurt and her overcoming that hurt to be the person she is now and hopefully maybe helping someone. So people sort of took it as an opportunity of thinking, well, let's discuss. It wasn't a thing of discussion, it was a moment of sharing, and there's a big difference. I regret the fact that I was not more clear, that this wasn't a discussion, this was sharing. So I will put that out there more and more. If Lucy ever wants to have share your opinion, I don't know if she's going to want that. I don't know if I would want that. Yes, everyone's entitled to their opinion, um, but you are not entitled to have to give it to someone all the time. We have this sense of entitlement. Well, I can think the way I think. Sure, but does it need to be shared? Do we need to project it outward as this force field and then bully our way through life? Respect my beliefs, respect my opinion. It's just an opinion. If you read a different book when you were 6 years old, you might have a different opinion. If you had a different parent, set of parents, or even one parent, everything you think now would be different. If you belonged to a different church, if your great grandparents belonged to a different political party at one time, everything you think now would be different. Every belief that you hold as sacred would be different. If you were born in a different country, different part of the world, everything you believe now would be entirely different. So why should your thoughts about one particular thing or one particular person matter? They don't. Sorry, that hurts. Mine don't matter either. Nothing that I said right now matters. Zero. Joseph says, if you don't have anything nice to say, that was you, by the way. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. There you go. Blue Moon says, but you never bring three greats up when I got time out. I don't need to. Sorry. It's the way it works. Here's my answer to everyone who has an issue with the way I do things. I'm sorry, but I don't care. Because I'm just doing the best that I can. I'm going to muck everything up. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to miss comments. I'm going to do all kinds of things. It's just the way it works, Blue Moon Tiger King. And that's the way it's been working since day one. And guess what? Every friend that's been here since I've been live streaming, Scroll Sniper for one, some people have been here for months. The people who keep showing up, they don't care that I mess up. They love me anyway, and I am forever, ever grateful that they do. Hey, Wyatt, what can I say? I definitely care about you, Carl. And I know everyone here, all of our friends. Scroll on up. Everyone in blue. And some who aren't in blue, they all love you. Speaking of blue, hey, Joe Clark, if you come back next live stream or the next time I see you, we're gonna blue you up again. That sounded kind of sad. I'm gonna make Dale blue. I don't really want to make you blue. Lucy says, "We all love you, Garrett. Thank you." So I hope you understand that, Tiger King, because I spend an ornament, an ornament, an ornament. Why is that word so hard for me? Amount of time explaining that to you, and I don't mind, but it does take a bit of energy, and I'm left feeling just a little bit exhausted every time that I do. Prickly Fish says, "I love that you trip over words, Yogi, and I bet you could beat me at Scrabble." If our friend Adam loves that I trip over words, he must really, really, really love me. Since he says, frankly, I'm exhausted with the drama and nonsense being brought to this chat, and it takes extra effort to not react. So now I'm wrong, and you are wrong. Let's be wrong together. So I've taken to ignoring a lot. I apologize, but I asked the chat, do you want me to stay like 100% focus on just reading comments? Or do you mind if I go off on these little rants? And 100% everyone said, go off on those little rants. So I do. You gave me the freedom to be myself, guys. Thank you so much. Which means I'm going to miss some stuff. And some stuff I miss purposely so. Because I've already addressed it. I've already talked about it. It's been done and done and done. And now it's over. I suggest we all do the same. Carl says, if I was live, you'd all be in Yogi stream. No, not necessarily, Carl. Not necessarily. You have a very soothing voice. If I was live, I might actually be in your live stream. I might have you up and playing and give myself little breaks to hang out with Carl. Wyatt says, howdy, everyone. I know, Sissy. Sissy says, not you, Eric. I appreciate that. Sissy, I know it's difficult for you. Sissy, I would never, ever question anything that you time out because there's a reason why I gave that to you. Use it at your discrimination as needed, and I will not question it. Limit said, how's your sub going, Carl, then? Hey, Tiger King, they're going up. They are going up, my friend. Adam says, I feel like Yogi tripped up on inordinate. Inordinate. Sorry, guys. I'm taking a moment of celebration. If I was a little less modest, or a little more modest, I don't know, I would do a happy dance. I'm going to do a happy dance anyway. This is me doing a happy dance. By the way, some things are not to be clipped. Me doing a happy dance is one of those things that should not be clipped. There need be no proof that I actually did a happy dance set. almost 6 in the morning. Means I got to go. Tiger, Sissy says, Tiger King, I just sent you 3 more subs. Thank you, Sissy. All right, I got to go. I'm going out taking a walk. Guys, thanks for coming in. Everyone, including, all the little messiness. What's life without messiness? Seriously, what is life without messiness? Sissy says, that is my reaction to the nonsense. I appreciate it. All right, 1 o'clock, 5:25. Maybe a members live stream. Tomorrow, I got my friend Randy Krill coming up, and we're going to talk ultra running as a spiritual path through healing cancer. If you can heal yourself of cancer by adopting a particular healing journey, you can heal yourself of anything. All right. Love you guys.